here is actually Bach sound asleep, so M3D is taking over the camera work for a little while and catching the morning happenings. For those of you that didn't catch it on the hub or have seen the pictures, Ken and Isaiah won teams again. Still undefeated, never lost a set. They beat Kay and Blair in a very close set. It went to 5 games, and Ken and Isaiah won at the end using Fox and Chic against Kay's, Fox, and Blair's Peach on Final Destination. I'm going to give you guys a look at what it's like here while everyone's asleep, because I didn't sleep at all, and Bach's been snoozing all night. So I'm going to walk you guys through, and then we're going to interview the regional team captains so you guys can get a feel for what's going to happen in the regional crew battles. So this is the venue at about 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. People that are sitting up, yeah, none of them went to sleep. Chris here has been yelling all night long. Isaiah! Been screaming profanities at the top of his lungs.
Isaiah! His blood is flowing through me! Isaiah!
Undisputed, does not sleep ever. Here we are upstairs. As you can see, people found any space they could to fall asleep. The venue from up above, you can see how empty it is. Let's see if we can find people to harass. KM there asleep. That's real cute. Real cute. So anyway, as you all can see, it's been an exciting event so far. Some people are so excited they can't sleep. And the regional crew battle is about to get started, so let's go to an interview with the regional team captains. Roll for SAG. Alright. Welcome back to FC. This is M3D, and we're starting our interview series with the team captains from the regional crew battle. I'm here with Wife, the captain of the East Coast team, and we're going to talk a little bit about his team. So, Wife, how do you feel like the East Coast team is shaping up?
Really well. We've been working on this for a long time. We take it very seriously. We've done a lot of preparing, a lot of talking, and a lot of just analyzing different matchups and our players and what they can do. So I feel like we're really prepared. So it's not going to take us by surprise. So that's not going to be a problem. That's
awesome. Is there a particular crew or matchup that you guys are worried about or concerned about that you're going to focus on?
Well, the South team isn't really shaping up to be that much because a lot of Crystal City didn't come, and the South isn't one of the stronger regions of the country. So I think they're going to maybe not even enter, and if they do, it's not going to be a big deal. And the Midwest has a lot of really talented players, but their weaknesses is that they have about 6 or 7 really good people, and after that it sort of drops off. And so they have a lot of talent, I think, but they don't have enough big hitters to sort of take them for the goal. And they also don't have any real big hitters. Like they have no giants. East Coast and West Coast each has giants, and that's why we're afraid of them. Basically, they have a lot of talented players, and then they have Ken and Isaiah. And Ken and Isaiah are what I call giants because they can take off. They can go through 3 people. You know, they know what they're doing, and they're people really to be scared of. But Ozen's a giant, and Chudat's a giant, and other players, can prove to be giant status. Like Mike, for instance, could do that. But it's definitely Ken and Isaiah and Chu and Azen.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do? What strategy are you guys going to use to take the West Coast team by surprise? How are you guys going to beat them today?
Well, we've had a lot of different things thrown around. We're probably going to finalize everything this morning. And it also depends on what order in which they throw out their opponents. Because with Ken and Isaiah, we can use our giants to fight their giants and try to put Chu up against Isaiah or Azen up against Ken. Or we watched from GS2 crew battles, we learned that when Team Maria, Azen's team, fought Too Cool for School, Ken's team, Azen didn't fight Ken. Azen fought other people, and that seemed to work out well enough. He beat Chu, or whoever else he put in his way. And so it's kind of like a toss-up. It's kind of, do you think you want to have our giant fight their giant, or is it that you want to see if our giant can burn through more of their noobs than their giant can burn through more of our noobs? Last FC, Team Ben wasn't very good. We teamed with Wes and Azen, and then Wes took out, I think, 3 people in a row for them, and then he finally lost. And then Isaiah came in and took out all 3 of Team Ben. And so it was like 2 of our giants kind of just burned through half the team, and then the rest of it went. So it depends which way you want to go.
Okay. Well, are there any players that are going to be particularly, or that you're looking to be swing players for the East Coast team? Somebody who could come up big and make a big impact today that people wouldn't necessarily expect?
Well, Chillin dude's a lot of force, and people kind of expect that because he's so good. But I really think that if he just gets aggressive and he just keeps his head in the game, then he can just go crazy and take off a lot of stock. Something you're not expecting he's going to do that well, who is going to do really well, is Crazy Jones. He's a really talented player, and he's a really smart player, and he's cool. So I think in the crew battle, if he gets the right matchup, if he gets a Sheik matchup, if he gets a Fox matchup, they could easily turn the match our way a lot.
Good.
So hopefully Crazy Jones.
So who's going to win this? Is the East Coast going to win this?
I genuinely think the East Coast is going to win it. It's a lot easier planning it on the boards at home. We had our own separate boards aside from the Smash boards to talk about everything. And everything seems really easy. Then you get here, and there's more Sky Paul than I thought were going to be here. There's more talented players than I anticipated. I thought more people were going to drop out, like Canada Mike did. And also, you got Ken with all his mind games in your face, yelling at you, trying to take your team apart. So it's a little bit harder to stay strong. But I think when all's said and done, it's going to be the Coast. I think we have too many talented players. When I look at the list of people we have, I just think talent. And the West Coast is good, and the other coasts are good too. But it's like, I don't think it's enough to take down our players. We have too much talent in one list to see every last one of them go down. I can't imagine it.
All right.
I can't picture it.
Well, you heard it here. The captain of the East Coast predicts an East Coast victory. So stay tuned for more updates. With the Sentinel, the captain of the South team. And we're going to ask him a few questions about his team. Sint, how do you feel like the South team is shaping up?
Well, after we lost Rob and Zulu, I thought, we were going to lose really bad. But after seeing all the other people that took their place, I think we can do about just as well, maybe better. But I think I'm pretty confident that we can rep ourselves very well. I think I made a very solid team.
Good. What are your expectations for the team? Where do you think you guys are? Who do you think you guys can beat, and who do you guys don't think you can beat?
I'm very sure we can't beat the East Coast. I think they're just way built too well with Ninja Turtles and Az and Chu, Chillin', just great guys, really good players. West Coast, I think we can put up a decent fight. Midwest, I think we have the best chance of beating out of all of the other three crews. Just from past performances, like Sean, he's a great player. I've seen him take Azen and all the other top players very well. And same thing with Caveman. I've seen Rock take Ken very well in their money match. So I think we can put up a decent fight against West Coast. And I'm very sure it'll be very close against us, against the Midwest.
Okay, so if you had to focus on the Midwest, what players are you worried about? What type of strategies are you guys going to use to take the Midwest down?
I'm mainly worried about Vidjo, since he's a really, really good Peach, and the only Peach killers we have in our crew are me, Undisputed, and Demise. And Demise has very few experience. Undisputed's a good Ganon, but even Vidjo can take Eddie down pretty far. And me, I have a good record against Peaches, but Vidjo worries me a bit because he's really good, really weird.
Well, is there any type of strategy that you guys would use to combat Vidjo? Who do you think you might throw at him?
Either me or Undisputed, since the two of us have the most experience, and Peach just has problems against those characters, but probably Undisputed just for the fact that Ganon kills Peach very fast. That's the main problem with Peach. She just lives too long.
All right. Well, for your team, are there any players that have a real opportunity, maybe someone that they wouldn't expect to be a standout player that could really be a swing player for your team and make a big impact?
I think there's two, and they're both Rock and SOS. They're both really, really good Fox. Well, I don't know if Sauce has a really good Fox, but he can also play a variety of characters. Rock he's a very solid Fox. He's not really fast, but he just does everything that's right and just wins. So I think he's going to be a very important player in our team. Same thing with Sean, but everyone knows about Sean, so I don't think he's a person I have to worry about not doing well.
Okay. So, in your opinion, who's going to win this event?
I'm going to say East Coast.
East Coast? Why?
Like I said, they're just built too well. They have the most solid built of players. They have a good variety of characters. They all have a great amount of tourney experience. They're all good, smart players. Just built way too well. They they're like the most even in skill level between all the players in the crews, I think.
All right. Well, stick with us for the Midwest captain, Eddie. Eddie, thanks for joining us.
Oh, no problem.
I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel like the Midwest team is shaping up? Are you pleased with how things are going?
Well, I think it's a good team. So right now it's more of a strategical put together of the team than skill-wise, because I think, honestly, Midwest, we probably don't have a total one of the top 10 guys that can battle East Coast or West Coast, but strategically I think we can win if we put the players in when we have to.
Okay.
What was it? It was standout players.
No. Is there a particular team that you guys are focused on, that you guys are feel like is your toughest challenge, or the team that you really want to step up and beat?
Actually, I thought East Coast would actually be our biggest challenge. They did have a solid team, 1 to 10, all the way through. And those particular matchups, we just don't really favor us in terms of matchups. Like West Coast, it's like we match up better against West Coast, even though they can have like better players. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like Sassafras is a really good peach, but for some reason I'm not really worried about the SkyPal guys. But like, I don't feel Midwest really has a good answer to like guys like Chillor or PC Chris, which I think can give us a lot of trouble.
Okay. Well, what type of strategy are you guys going to use to overcome those challenges against the East Coast?
Well, my idea is we have to minimize PC Chris. I think he's a wild card in that whole thing. To minimize him, and you also get Killer out of there, because Killer scares me just because he's really good with those refs, and in a crew battle that's stock. One down beat, the hell, crazy.
So who's the wild card for the Midwest? Who's going to stand out for the Midwest and has potential to be a swing player one way or another to really make or break the team?
My pick to click is Dreffin, the Chief player from Ohio. Not many people have heard about him, because he doesn't really go too far outside of Ohio, and I think he's really going to catch people off guard with his style, and he can get some cheap kills here and there. And he's a hard person to fight if you don't expect him. He's a different style.
Okay. So, straight up, honest answer: who's going to win the regional crew battle at FC3?
Honestly, man, that's a tough one. But I think we'll have a chance. Hopefully, we'll be close. I'm hoping we'll be close. We'll see. I think we can steal a victory here or there. But honestly, I think West Coast. West Coast will win.
West Coast will
But
win.
they got SkyPal. SkyPal's too good.
Okay, so what's the Midwest record?
Midwest record
Versus the South, win or lose?
We'll win against the South.
Versus the East Coast, win or lose?
East Coast, I'm hoping for a win, and I think we have a legitimate shot at a win.
Versus
But
the West Coast, win or
West
lose?
Coast, I think we have a chance to beat West Coast, but it's gonna be hard.
All right. Well, maybe a little indecisive, but very hopeful for his team and focused on strategy. Eddie is ready to start this. All right, folks. Well, Ken and Isaiah appear to be running late. So, and Shudette. So the crew battle is going to be delayed just a little bit while they sort things out, but we may or may not hear from Ken now. We'll try and get him in here as quickly as possible when he gets here, if they don't have to start their match right away. But if it's not on this one, hopefully we'll get him interviewed on the next update, so stay tuned.